I died on a Tuesday in New York. That's what the headline said. But the strange part wasn't dying. The strange part was standing across the street watching my own funeral beside the woman who had killed me and still wanting to hold her hand. Rain slid down black umbrellas outside St. Patrick's Cathedral, camera flashes, reporters whispering. A black car idled near the curb. Inside the church, a framed photograph of me smiled at a room full of people who thought they knew who I was. Actor, philanthropist, American golden boy, dead at 34. But outside, hidden beneath a long charcoal coat, I breathed slowly beside her. Rihanna Cole, her face calm, too calm. She adjusted her gloves, watching mourners enter. "You shouldn't look," she murmured. Her voice felt like a memory pressed against my skin. I didn't answer, because I couldn't stop staring at her, at the woman who poisoned me. 3 months earlier, Los Angeles, sunlight spilling across glass walls. I first saw Rihanna at a charity gala hosted by Zendaya and Michael B. Jordan, one of those Hollywood nights where everyone pretends sincerity exists. She stood alone near the balcony, black silk dress, high collar, long sleeves, nothing exposed, yet everything powerful. Her posture said control, her eyes said war. I knew instantly she was dangerous, and I walked toward her anyway. "Do you always look like you're planning something?" I asked. She didn't smile. "Only when I'm deciding if someone deserves honesty." That should have been my warning. Instead, it felt like gravity. The romance didn't explode. It unfolded slowly, like two chess players pretending they weren't competing. Late drives through Malibu, coffee at midnight while she listened more than she spoke. The way she touched my wrist when she wanted me to stop talking, gentle but commanding. Micro moments, the space between breaths, the way she watched me when she thought I wasn't looking. Sensual tension lived in silence. One night, she leaned against my kitchen counter while I cooked, music low, city lights flickering outside. She stepped closer, adjusting my collar. No kiss, just closeness, electric. "You're too good at pretending you're fine," she said softly. "And you're too good at hiding." She didn't deny it. 2 weeks later, we were in Paris, because with her, decisions felt inevitable. Rain along the Seine, her laughter echoing off stone bridges. She dragged me into a tiny bookstore, pulling out old poetry like she was searching for something she had lost. Later, in a dim cafe, she traced circles on my palm under the table. The tension felt almost forbidden, like we were breaking rules neither of us understood. That night, she kissed me. Slow, deliberate, not passionate, intentional, like a signature. But love with Rihanna wasn't soft. It was layered, contradictory. Sometimes she disappeared emotionally, watching me as if measuring something. Other times, she melted into me, forehead against mine, breathing synced, whispering stories about growing up between London and Toronto. She avoided talking about her past relationships. I avoided asking. We built intimacy through action, cooking together, traveling to Tokyo, running through rain in London, watching sunrise over Santorini. Each country felt like another chapter written without words. The first crack came in Switzerland. We were in a quiet chalet overlooking snow-covered mountains. She stood at the window, staring too long. "Do you believe people deserve second chances?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "What about third chances?" I laughed lightly. "Depends what they did." She didn't laugh. Later that night, I woke to find her sitting on the floor, back against the bed, eyes open. "You okay?" I asked. "Yes," but her voice sounded like someone standing at the edge of a cliff. The next morning, she kissed me like she was memorizing my face. Slow, deep, almost desperate. I should have recognized goodbye hidden inside affection. Back in New York, everything intensified. Our chemistry grew heavier, touches lingered longer, conversations deeper, but beneath it all was tension I couldn't name. Then came the night of my death, private dinner, candles. She cooked. Something simple, pasta, wine, laughter. She watched me closely while I ate, not romantically, carefully, almost anxiously. "You trust me?" she asked. "Yes," I said, immediately. She nodded slowly, and for a moment, pain flashed across her face. 30 minutes later, my vision blurred, my chest tightened. I collapsed. Her face hovered above me, tears falling. "I'm sorry," she whispered. Darkness swallowed everything. When I woke, it wasn't a hospital. It was a quiet apartment, medical equipment nearby. Rihanna sat beside me, eyes red. "You died," she said softly. "What?" "I stopped your heart for 6 minutes. Shock hit me like ice water." "Why?" Her voice broke. "Because someone wants you dead, and I needed them to believe they succeeded." That was when the truth shattered everything. Before me, before us, I had been engaged to another woman, Taylor, a powerful investor with dangerous connections across America and Europe. I ended the relationship after discovering manipulation and psychological control I hadn't recognized at first. But she didn't accept endings. She built slow revenge instead, destroying reputations, ruining lives, and eventually decided death was the only punishment she wanted for me. Rihanna had infiltrated her world long before meeting me. At first, she approached me as part of a plan, a setup, a way to protect me without revealing the threat. But somewhere between Los Angeles and Paris, she fell in love, and that changed everything. "You used me," I said quietly. "Yes." "And you saved me." "Yes." "And you killed me." Her eyes filled. "Yes." Silence stretched between us. The emotional contradiction burned. Love, betrayal, protection, deception. The revenge wasn't business, it wasn't career, it was psychological. Taylor thrived on control, so Rihanna built a revenge based on absence. The world believed I was dead. Taylor lost her purpose. Her obsession collapsed into emptiness. Without an enemy, she faced herself. Isolation, paranoia. Her empire turned hollow because the narrative she built no longer existed. It wasn't destruction, it was removal. A mirror forced upon her. Weeks passed, hidden, healing, and through it all, Rihanna stayed, not as strategist, as partner, cooking for me, sleeping beside me, tracing scars on my chest with quiet reverence. Romance grew deeper after betrayal, because now we saw each other without illusion. One night, I asked, "Did you ever consider letting me really die?" She froze. Long silence. "Yes," she whispered. The honesty hit harder than any lie. "And you chose not to, because I realized revenge isn't worth losing love." The final confrontation came in England, a quiet countryside estate. Taylor waited, her eyes sharp, calculating. "You look good for a dead man," she said. Rihanna stepped slightly ahead of me, protective. Taylor laughed softly. "So this was your plan? Psychological warfare?" "Yes," Rihanna replied calmly. Taylor's smile faded. "You took him away from me." "No," Rihanna said. "He chose to leave. I just made sure you couldn't follow." Silence. Wind through trees. A long stare between two women who understood power differently. Taylor finally exhaled. "You didn't ruin me," she said slowly. "You removed the illusion," Rihanna answered. And that was worse. We left without looking back. No dramatic victory, no destruction, just freedom. Months later, Barcelona, warm sunlight, a small apartment overlooking the sea. I woke beside Rihanna, her hair messy, face peaceful. For the first time, no secrets hovered between us. "Would you kill me again?" I asked playfully. She smirked. "Only if you needed saving." I pulled her closer, and in that moment I understood something deeper than revenge. Love isn't about never hurting each other. Sometimes it's about surviving the truth after the hurt. Because the most shocking part wasn't that she killed me, it was that she loved me enough to bring me back. And I loved her enough to forgive the darkness she walked through to protect us. And somewhere in New York, London, Paris, Tokyo, stories moved on. People forgot my funeral, but I never forgot the feeling of standing beside the woman who ended my life and gave me a second one. And maybe that's what real romance looks like. Not safety, not perfection, but two broken strategies learning to become one honest story.